Bang! Neeves Knives. I'm Jared, and we are live, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing? So, sneak peeks. What does that mean? Well, one, we got some stuff that has never been shown on the channel before here, and possibly most of you guys, I know for sure, have not seen one of these. We're going to take just a little sneak peek at it. We're not going to look at it too hard because it has not been revealed yet, aside from on a possible live at some point that you would have had to have been on in order to have seen it. We'll check that out here in a minute. It's pretty exciting. I think most of you guys are going to be pretty excited about this one. I know I am. But just to show you one that I know you guys have probably seen going around the internet, we got the Archer in the house. Have not done a post on it yet. I have been carrying it for 2 days now, doing, a little bit carrying before I do my first impressions. And yeah, guys, they did a great job on the Archer, man. They did a really good job on this. I got to give it to them. Tactile, I know. Well, I mean, pretty much everything they have done has been really, really good. They had a little hiccup with the Maverick. And they admit that they know that they kind of fumbled it on the opening, and that's why with this new model, not this one, but this one too, and the next one we might be looking at here in a second, they have really spent a lot of time trying to ensure that all their P's and Q's or all their I's are dot and their T's are crossed. Anyways, this is a beautiful knife. Look at this thing. The detent is it's nice, man. Nice crispy detent. Great access to the lock bar. Beautiful micro machining. I love Tactile's machining. This almost looks like a feather. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? But we'll check out the other one here in a second. We'll let some people get in here. You guys might see something behind me. Another thing we're going to sneak peek at. We're going to take a quick look at the box. Now, me and the guy or the owner of Holman Hadfield are going to be going live the day before I do the giveaway. So what we're going to do is we're going to go live, and we'll do a vertical live too. So we're going to do a vertical live, and we're going to show off some of the stuff that's going to be given away, if not all the stuff that'll be given away. So we'll do a nice little video talking about it, and then the next day at a specific time I will upload the video for you guys to enter, so you guys can win an entire knife collection plus $300+ chest. Now, what'll happen is I'll post it. Then 1 week from that day, and we'll go over all this in the live and I'll do it in the video. 1 week after, I will pull it, and I'll pull it live, just like we're doing right now. I'll pull it live, so that there's no, nobody thinks anything happened. I didn't choose a name on purpose or anything. And number two, not that you guys would think that, but number two, so that you guys can be here to see who wins. Now, if the person that wins is not here, they can still watch it and claim it. It's not like you have to be here to win it. So I just want to be clear. But let's just take a quick look at the chest really quick. This thing's, I'm gonna say it's about 40 pounds. Yeah, about 40 pounds. Pretty damn badass. We got this nice hard plastic top. You can put your watches here. I do have a watch nearby, don't I? No, fuck no, it's over there. You can put your knives here, or you can put watches around these, which is pretty cool. Then you have two drawers here. I'm just going to briefly show it. You can take this out right here if you want, if you have longer knives or whatever. And then the top one, you can put your firearm, your wallet, or whatever. So the whole thing is badass. I mean, it's big, it's heavy, it's very well built. It has a nice, strong wood odor. Personally, I love that odor of like fresh wood, Now, the next time you guys are going to see it, it's going to be filled with knives, and the knives that are going to be in the giveaway. So this is a pretty exciting giveaway. Not many people, channels, whatever, give away an entire knife collection and storage case to one person. So it's going to be pretty awesome. Neeves is so compassionate about the knife game. I try, man. I try. Now, another thing. I'm gonna show. I got a couple KIZERs here that nobody has seen yet. I don't think they've been revealed yet. They haven't dropped yet. We'll take a little sneak peek at those too. But first, let's just take a quick look at this new knife that's coming that I think is pretty exciting. USA made, and you guys will see the name on it when it opens. Ooh, look at that. And what kind of lock is that? I'm not going to say too much because I want you to watch the video, but all I can say is no company yet has been able to tune a good detent with the SNEX lock. I don't even know if SNEX has been able to, but these guys, listen to this, just listen. They figured it out, man. Nice, clicky, crispy detent when you open it. So far, this is the most satisfying opening. You know, same lock like you'd find on the Vision, right? Same style lock, because this is a SNEX lock. You know, this is I don't know if you consider it a collaboration or not, but anyways, to be able to crisp a detent, you know, oh, I love it, because that's my biggest complaint about that locking, even with the shark lock and all of those. You guys know, you know, even like, especially like with the Engage, the cold steel Engage, that thing has a horrible detent. Like, it's almost, I don't even like to carry it because of that reason, because it's like, it feels floppy. This is not like that. This, in order to break the detent, you actually get a click. Like, it's crispy. It feels good. I thought for a second there had to have been a detent in here. But they tuned, you know, the geometry just right, which is really cool. So like I said, we're not going to look at it too long or anything. I just want you guys to just get a little sneak peek. But this will be coming very, very soon. MagnaCut steel 63 to 64 HRC. We love to see that. Same thing with the Archer, by the way. MagnaCut 63 to 64 HRC comes with a card and all that good stuff. Man, look at that. Yeah, man, Tactile is going to be doing some big things. Now, I know the Archer's expensive. I know that. But it is USA made. They're not a big, I mean, I'm not going to say they're not a small company, but they're definitely not a big company. They're a new company. So being a new company, I think, man, they are kicking ass. So let's check out. I want to talk about the sharpening stones too that we recently got, just so you guys know, for people that don't know. A company contacted me that does resin bonded diamond stones and metallic bonded diamond stones. Now, the cool thing about that is that it might start getting very hard to get the Neeves very soon, which are my most recommended knives for you know, resin bonded. So having a company that can fill that void is really, really awesome. So they contacted me right in the nick of time. So I've been testing them out, and I'm about to do my full video on them. I am really, really, really liking them. So far, I haven't tested the metallic bonded as much as the resin bonded. But from what I have tested them, they're pretty cool, and you don't have to use water with them. You don't have to use anything. You just glue them dry because it's metal, so there's no pores. Like the stones, the reason why you use soapy water with the resin bonded is just because the metal will settle into the pores and will cover the diamonds, and you want the soapy water like lifted off of the stone. It just helps to keep it clean. The metallic bonded ones supposedly don't have that problem. I did run them dry too, and they work just fine. We'll see how it does over time. Yeah, fuck Peloton. The 14C20. Oh, here's Remet Knives. What's up? The 14C28 in Rhino is a great knife. We use an innovative button lock construction. Remet has been doing a lot of different stuff. If you guys watched my video that I just posted, the video that went up earlier, fuck Peloton. And Remet had 3 knives in that video, because they have been doing knives that are different, right? And, you know, while there might be some other knives that you can find and pinpoint, you know, and say, hey, they did the same thing, it's not something you see every single time you see a knife. So it's pretty cool to see. It's nice to see innovative things, because it is, it can be not dangerous, but it can be a risk. Sorry, guys. It can be a risk for companies. And the reason why is because, say, if it fails, what if it fails? What if the D10 sucks? What if people don't like it? What, you know, there's so many issues that can go wrong with something new. So it's always a risk for a company to do something new. That's why a lot of companies refuse to do anything new until other companies have perfected it. When other companies have perfected it, then they'll do it because they can, you know, ride the coattails or do what they did. On the Edge gifted 1 Neevesknives membership, man. I appreciate it. Thank you for the support, brother. Let's see here. Yeah, they have definitely been killing it. I'm still trying to get a burr on my FLN. Should I change stones from my Neeves 600 diamond? Well, first off, if you haven't got a burr yet, you shouldn't be using a 600. You should be using a 140 or 200. That's very thick geometry, and that's why I said, like, you know, that's why I want to thin the next batch out. But if you're going 20 degrees per side, and I'm just guessing, I don't know what degree you're going, I would imagine it's about 20 degrees per side. Like I said, it's going to take you some time because it's thick. So get a very aggressive diamond. Like I said, 140, 200, 100. I would recommend getting a 100 start, but it is a recurve, so you might have to get thin stones. I got some thin diamond plates from TSPROF. They're just regular diamond plates. I don't know where they came from. They sent them to me. But the ones I can recommend are from Neeves. So they sell skinny stones. Do you use that inch stone only on the guided system? So I do both. So I personally use stones like this. So I use them for 2 different things. So one, obviously fixed angle systems, right? Put them in fixed angle systems. 2, use them as pocket stones. So if you're going camping, hunting, work, whatever, you can slip them into a bag. You just slip 1 or 2. I like to say, take something that's ultra fine that will help you tune, maintain your edges, and, you know, things like that. You can almost use it kind of like a strop almost, where, you know, you just do a couple passes very gently and tune up your edge just to bring back the bite really quick. But if you think you possibly might have to resharpen, you can bring just 1 medium grit, right? It might take you a little bit longer because it's not a coarse, or if you have the room for it, bring 3 stones. But if you just bring 1, you can literally do everything with just 1 stone, because you can get your edge sharp enough to do the job, and, you know, whatever. And if you have, you know, another fine stone, you could deburr and all that shit on there. But yeah, no, I use them in the hand too. I like to, sometimes I'll put them on the table. Sometimes I'll hold them in my hand like this and just sharpen like this. This is how I do convex edges. So this is how I teach to do convex too. And I recommend anybody who wants to do convex, it's actually much easier than you think. And I'm going to tell you right now, really quick, how anybody can easily do a convex. So get the stone and put it in your hand. Don't put it on the table. Put it in your hand. Because this hand is not perfectly stable, and neither is this one, you're going to try your best. You're not going to try to convex. For the life of you, don't try to convex. Try to do a perfect V grind. You won't be able to, though. It's just going to come out convex. So that's the beauty of it. And this is the reason why, because you're going to take and move this hand and this hand. I know it sounds hard. Once you set it down, you're going to realize how easy this is actually. You can actually get away with leaving the knife like this and just moving the stone. But it'll make it convex. So that's how I teach to do convex, because it's so easy. Like literally just, I move this hand too a little bit, but not much. I mostly move this hand, and for some reason, it just makes it so easy. Like, 1, your eyes are so close to it that you can see every detail that's happening. But 2, it just, you have a lot of connection with everything. So when you're way away from it like this, sharpening, you're far away, you can't see the details, and it just, you don't feel like you have as much of a connection as when you're like right here doing it. So it works really good. I get beautiful convex edges that way. Ding, ding, ding. Let's see here. Max Ace have balls for days. Taking a chance. Yes, yeah, they definitely take some chances. They do some things I wish they would stop doing too. I love Max Ace. I think they do a good job. I love a lot of the shit they do, but man, it's like sometimes, like if you've made 3 knives And all three of them have had the same complaints. Don't make a fourth one with the same fucking issue. You know, like say from jimping to, you know, whatever, you know, you guys know, like it's crazy to me, like with that one, what, the Peregrine, they did washer action and then didn't even do good jimping on the front flipper like that. It's annoying. It's very annoying. Check this out. I got something. So another sneak peek. So I bought, and it's funny because somebody sent me a video right after I purchased this. Somebody sent me a video of them having one. And I was like, what a coincidence. But this is to make your own jimping. This is a jimping file. It's very, very sharp to the touch. Like when you touch it, it's grippy. It feels like little needles. But it does, come on, focus. It's a jimping file. So I can make jimping on, you know, wherever the fuck I want, really not quick. It's definitely gonna take some time, because anytime you're working with hardened steel, it's brutal, man. So it's not something that's going to be easy and it's just kind of, you're just going to and be done. You're going to sit there for like an hour doing it. But if you do it right and you take your time and you have it clamped and all that good stuff, maybe do it through a couple sessions, you'll have really nice jimping, because, you know, this makes, I think, like the perfect type of jimping as far as space goes. I really want some veneers, but they're so expensive and I'm not a pro. So I'm wondering if I should get the inch stones. So if you are going to, one reason why you would want to go for veneers, if you were like looking for a reason, is they last forever. They last so damn long. A regular diamond plate will wear out and you will have to replace them. You'll probably have to replace them 10 times, maybe even 20 times before you'll ever replace a veneer. So that's the beauty with a veneer. So it is an investment, and yes, they're expensive, but they are worth it. But do you need them? No, you don't need them. You could easily just get diamond plates, regular diamond plates, HAPSTONE starts. They're expensive too, or Gritomatics. There's lots of different diamond plates you can get. But you're not going to be able to take those edges up to an ultra fine diamond edge without the resin bonded. I think the highest I've ever seen a diamond plate goes like 2,000 grit, and they're not that good. They wear out so fast. But Neeves, would no feel so all alone. Everybody must get stoned. Whew. But yeah, man, I say just get some diamond plates. If you're worried about the money, just get some diamond plates. And if you're trying to do freehand, I would recommend get 3x8 stones. Don't go with the small ones. Now, I think everybody should have the small ones, but more for the things I mentioned. As far as doing full-blown sharpening, you want to do it on the bench, you know, and get used to it. Hey, now, what micron size of diamonds do you use on your strop seams? I have every one. I use them all. I use every single one, everything from 1/4 micron up to 9 micron. I even have some 12 micron from like Gunny Juice. So I use like all different kinds. But I would say if you're looking for a one and done, I recommend getting 6 micron. 6 micron is really good. Even 4 micron is really good. 4 to 6 micron is really versatile across the board. But like if you're doing certain edges, then you're going to want something finer, like a 1/4 micron, 1 micron. But 4 micron is still very, very, very fine. Even 6 micron, you're not really going to see much scratches from a 6 micron, even on a mirror polish. So 4 to 6 micron is what I recommend if you're just looking for one. If you're looking for, like, say, a set, I would say get a 1, a 6, and a 9, or a 1, 3, and 6, one of the two. And that's probably the way I would go. Yeah. I mean, you could go a half, 1, 3, 6 if you wanted to. It just depends on how much money you got and how many strops, because the emulsions are not cheap, right? They cost, but what's even more expensive is you have to have a whole nother strop. So you have to buy the strops too. Now you don't have to buy big ones. You can buy just little ones and make it a lot more affordable. I only got into knives just over 2 years ago. When did the knife hobby really explode? It seems like it may have been in the last 3 to 5 years. What are key moments, innovations, important companies? I would say it's probably been about 6 years. It started exploding probably 6 years ago before me. And then after I showed up, that's when it blew. No, I'm just joking. No, it started blowing up when I showed up, though. It did. Not from me. I'm just saying it just so happened to start blowing up. And but it was already on its way up. Like, that's how I found it. I found it because it was on the internet, right? And it showed up in my feed. And I got obviously intrigued. But yeah, it all started with just a handful of people, the people that the channels that paved the way for all of us. And then now there's all kinds of channels that do this, and it's a massive community now. I guarantee if you looked at Blade Show 15 years ago compared to 5 years ago or 2 years ago or 1 year ago, probably a massive difference. I bet you like there's probably doubled as far as the amount of people that show up. As far as money goes and things like that, that has obviously exploded. There's always been expensive custom knives. There's always been a knife collecting community. It's never not been there. So that's one thing you got to realize, is that none of us started the knife hobby. The knife hobby's been around since before our great grandparents were ever in existence. Like this is lineage. Like, this is passed down in our bloodline. So it's just something that's, I think, engraved in our DNA. What's your thoughts on the steel quality in the MSI? Have you sharpened one? Yes, I have. I've sharpened a couple of them, a few of them. It's soft. It's on the softer side. It's M390 MK, so it's Microtex M390 steel. Supposedly it holds a little bit better edge. I did do an edge retention test on it, but I'm not going to speak about it because I didn't record it. But yeah, it's on the softer side. The one problem is that it's thick geometry, plus the steel's on the softer side. Now, I don't think they do a bad heat treatment. I think they do a good heat treatment, but they just need to up the HRC on it. And I think then it would hold a lot better edge, especially if they thin. It just depends on, like, the geometry and what the intentions are. Their intentions, I guess, are to be a little bit tougher. So the MSI has thick geometry, which is fine. But I don't know why you'd want to go soft plus thick. That's my problem with it. Do one or the other. Shit, don't go soft ever. But if you're gonna want something tough, to just go a little bit thicker. There's no reason to make the steel soft and thick. But it still sharpens up. It'll still hold an edge. Did you recommend reprofiling a Manix to 15 degrees for a slicer? Yes. If you wanted to be on another level of sharpness, then yes, you definitely want 15 degrees per side. That's what I do on mine. Y'all should be used to those propels by now. It's a special future. Brian Kerr, man. Thank you for being a member for 13 months. Workshop Precision Adjust. Pretty good for the price. Yeah, it's $50. So for $50, it is a decent system. I'd have, no argument about that. I recommended it, but upgrading it with the stone holder it is a really big enhancement for that system, because it only allows you to use 3 stones or something like that. Even if you get the upgraded one, is not very many stones. So if you want to be able to sharpen to a mirror polish, or put on whatever edge you want, or use whatever stones you want, get the aftermarket stone holder that I link in every video down in the HAPSTONE link, or you can go onto my Amazon store and go to Gritomatic. They sell them there too. The Neeves stones are amazing. What's the best bang mid-size for my buck between 75 and 100? I like, it depends on what you like, but I like the one of these. I'd tell you to get one of these. I like the button lock Elementum, 3.5-inch knife. This would be considered a large, I guess you could say. I don't know about mid-size, but some people would consider it medium size. It's a full-size knife, but you can see it's not, it's not a big knife. Then I really like the KIZER Drop Bear. This comes in lots of different colors, lots of different options. Nice strong lock. They did like the best crossbar lock ever. And then same locking system, same company, the Escort. This is the KIZER Escort. They have the, oh, I don't know if there's any available anymore, but there was, man. The 20 CVN aluminums were going for like $102 the other day. Now they're probably back up to 150. These, you can get the 154 CM in aluminum one, which is the one I recommend. I think it's the best version they make, and it's like 90 bucks. So there's also the Mad Tonto if you like Tontos. The Mad Tonto is 154 CM, dual grind, drop point Tonto. Very useful Tonto. Beautiful micarta. Phenomenal action. Great knife. That's what I'd say one of those. Definitely interested in jimping tutorial vids. I tried on gas station knives years ago with pretty bad results. Yeah, it can be a son of a bitch. I only use 0.5 milligram mirror polish, everything. Everybody's gonna have their own thing. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong if you only have a 1/4 micron. Just use what works for you. The thing is that the most important thing is just understanding what's happening. That's the most important thing. Like, aside from any emulsion you have or leather you have, it's just understanding the purpose you're doing, what you're doing, and why. So, like, if I grab a strap, right, and I come off the stone, right, let's say I just got done sharpening, I'm not going to spend very long on this damn strap because my sharpness and my bite just came from my stones. And I know, as long as I know the burr came off really nicely, if the burr was shitty and it was pesty, that's different, right? But I'm saying, considering the burr came off good, I'm going to just do, maybe 5 to 10 passes per side, if that, maybe even like 3 passes per side, just enough to clean my apex off, because my goal is not to change my scratch pattern, unless if that is your goal. In that case, you can do a little bit more. But my goal is to just clean off any debris that's in between my microscopic serrations that I just applied with my stone. Now, if I'm doing it for edge maintenance, well, then, I'm going to strap accordingly, but it's still going to be a minimal amount. I don't want to spend a long time on there. I don't want to apply pressure, because the more pressure you apply, the more likely you have for your leather to roll around your apex. I'm going to try doing a nice low angle when I do it to ensure I don't roll over the apex. I'm going to watch it very, very closely to make sure the leather is not rolling around my apex. And I'm going to do it very minimal, like, just enough to bring that bite back exactly where I want it, and then I'm going to be done. I'm not going to sit there and strop and strop and strop and strop and strop. Now, the finer the micron, the more you can do that. If you go with like a 6 or 9 micron, you don't want to sit there on there, going to town, because you're refining it too much. Remember, there is a point where you've reached the peak. It's all downhill from here. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to refine it too much. You can do that with a stone too. Like, you can, especially with certain steels, you can go up to a certain point and then it'll start going back downhill. Some steels do great and they keep going. Some steels don't. So you kind of have to know, what you're working with. I'm still using Gunny Juice, great stropping compound, because I have it. But once it's used up, I'll try the stroppy stuff. Yeah, I'd recommend it. I think you'll enjoy both of them probably equally. I really do like the stroppy stuff, though. It's so easy to apply. And not only that, Gunny Juice is very easy to apply too. So I'm not saying that that's difficult. But I love that it's color coordinated. I do feel like the concentration might be a little bit better too. James K with the 2 bones. Before Jared, there was Buck 110 and Sharp Rock. What's up, Ronnie? I get the Manix 2 lightweight in Magna Cut for $129 brand new. Should I pull the trigger? I would. From where? What is that? The Salt series or something? For some, it's like a hobby. For others, it's just a consumer compulsion. Custom was always, but production making bacon, bringing cool within reach. You can thank Neeves, moving the chains. I'm doing my best. Let's see here. Let me scroll down. The Night's Edge says, did my first live stream this morning, and what a rush. I will never question why I'll get behind in the chat ever again. I had 84 of these badass peeps in there. Good for you, man. On your first live, that is amazing. I didn't have that many on my first live. That's badass, man. Good for you. That's an amazing feeling. Keep it up, man. Keep it up. Just keep it entertaining. That's why, like, when I do the vertical lives during the day, I make sure I have a topic, a subject, and I'm doing something, because I don't want to bore the people, because those people are different than you guys. Not saying they're more important, but their attention span is like a toaster. So, like, if they don't get captivated in what you're doing, they'll just click off. So in order to keep them there, keep them clicking, and keep the engagement going, you want to be working on something, doing something, offering something to the people. Thoughts on Survive Knives? Not trying to start a pot, or am I? Hey, I don't know them. I can only tell you what my friends have said. And, we did a live stream, and me and Steve sat here and talked about it. I know seems like there's a lot of sketchy shit going on, and that's all I know. I would say, anytime you're dealing with a company that very much seems like there's a lot of sketchy shit, this is the thing, is we've already dealt with it too many times. I don't know about you, but if you've been in the community long enough, you know that the majority of the times when something was questionable or sketchy, it came true. So considering that, and considering we've been, I don't want to say fucked over, but lied to and believed something that wasn't true so many times, a lot of us are very easy to say, hey, if there's some questionable shit here, I'm just going to not mess with it until everything comes out. And that's kind of the way I am with this. For $200, would you recommend a DLC Miltaw or a titanium Moyarl? So the reason why I'm going to say the Miltaw on this one, that's the one I'm going to say, I love the titanium Moyarl, but the Miltaw's pocket clip is a million times better. I'm kind of upset at the pocket clip on the Moyarl, and this is the thing, is that they did the what is that knife? I can't even think of the name of it. It's a number 2 version, the Gleer something, whatever. It's the one with the carbon fiber bolster, and it's got the deep micro milling, beautiful knife, front flipper and reverse flicking hole. That knife has the best clip they ever did on any knife. And I don't know why they didn't just keep going with that. But that's why I would say, because to me, pocket clips, when you start talking about that much money, that you better be able to carry them nice and smoothly in and out of the pocket. I can't stand a bad pocket clip. Yeah, fuck that. I just returned my Peregrine, terrible detent, and the jimping sucked front flipper was worthless. Knife needed to be smaller. Yeah, I did not like the washer action on that knife. The washer action makes it so stiff. It makes it difficult to use the front flipper, which I already said on the other versions. That's one of the knives I'm talking about. Like, why didn't they change that? That was like the biggest complaint. And then they just did the same thing on a new one, just changed the grind. So yeah, I didn't like that either. I would have returned it too. I can't stand it. I literally can't stand that knife now, because of that. Because it's like, what happens is you first get irritated from it. It's first like, oh, that sucks. But it's kind of like having a bad clip, right? You put it in your pocket and it's like, oh, that kind of sucks. A week later, you putting it out of your pocket, you want to fucking throw that thing through the wall. Like, fuck this thing. Ripping up my pants. KME has done me well, but I'm looking to upgrade. I'm thinking sometime soon. Well, I got the perfect video for you. Just posted it. I would recommend one of those. I did contact a company. Somebody left me a comment in my comment section and recommended a company's fit system to try out. It does look really good, but it is very expensive, even more expensive than TSPROFs. So I'm not sure how it'll work out or not, but it does look really, really good. So we'll see. But yeah, man, just one of the systems I recommended. That's what you should get. You could always what is that, $200? So for like $250, you can go with the Work Sharp. And then if you want to, you can upgrade from there. I'm going to recommend a TSPROF if you want to be able to just kind of do buy once, cry once type of thing. Anyone here buy from Blade Binge that I can vouch? You never bought from what are you worried? Are you worried, Ian? I wouldn't have them linked down in the description if you need to be worried. They're great. You'll be just fine buying from them. They pretty much, you're pretty much protected buying through them. Modded my work sharp precision adjust now to the max. End game, could have bought a TSPROF Pioneer to save money. That's another thing too, is that there's a lot of systems, yeah, you can buy and then continue to upgrade and change and do this. And that's, you know, something where it's like, you're going to wish that you would have just spent the money. That's what I kind of said in the video. I was more leaning towards buying something really cheap, you know, and then being upset that you spent $50 instead of $250. And then in the end, you're like, man, the $200 more would have been way more worth it. Because it's about time too. This is the part that people don't consider. That when you're doing a sharpening system, you're looking at it like that's fucking $500 or $800 or $250, whatever the price is that makes you go crazy. You're not considering the time. Buying a $50 system, let's just say a $50 system, let's say a $200 system, let's say the KME, you're using 4-inch stones. So let's say you're going to sharpen something that's 25 thousandths behind the edge. You're trying to sharpen it to 17 degrees per side, and it takes you fucking 2 hours to do. But if you had this other system, it would have took you 25, 30 minutes. You know, the time adds up over time, and you start realizing like, how much money am I losing? If you can, I think like that. So I think like hours are money. You know, I think most of us think like that, right? Like, I'm worth this much an hour. And if I'm wasting my time doing this, this is how much I spent doing that. That's kind of the way my brain works. I think most people should think like that. So if you've wasted 4 or 5 hours doing something, it's like, man, I just paid for that system right there, you know? Anyways, it's just, you know, it's something that people got to consider, because with the more expensive, you do save a lot of time. The stones are bigger. Even the frustrations are better, like adjusting and just getting your angle right. Do you want to take 10 seconds to get your angle or 3 minutes? You know, like considering that. Do you want to take 3 minutes clamping your knife, or you want to take 5 seconds clamping your knife? You know, all these little details. Yeah, about 6 years ago, I started pouring money into the EDC hobby and do way more EDC than ever. Let's see here. I'm gonna scroll down. I know I need to catch up, guys. Blade Walker just gifted a Neevesknives membership, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate the support once again, man. Thank you. Currently, heat treating the Blade ATL DV or DIVO Growler Fixies. Very cool. The Blade, what are you saying? Blade Show Atlanta DIVO Growler Fixies. Hell yeah. That's badass. I didn't even know about them, man. You're giving me a sneak peek. Why don't you send me a picture so we can show everybody? That Mannix for 100, or go live. I'll send you a link. That Mannix for $129 is a good deal. Yeah, if that's true. Yeah, I don't even know which one we're talking about. You guys are teaching me something right now. I'm just skipping comments, guys. I'm trying to catch up. Jared has built up the community. Blade Walker named himself after Jared. It's funny. Hello, all. There are too much great knives to consider to bother with survive, no matter how good they are. That's so damn true, man. And that's another thing, man. When you have a company over here that's being questionable, why the fuck would you deal with them when you have umpteen companies over here that have great credentials, great history, great work ethics, easy to contact? Hey, what's up, Steve? Steve's in the house. Shout out to Steve Killar. Definitely go and follow him on Instagram. He makes custom knives, and he does have you know, some collaborations and stuff coming up. He makes some badass knives with badass heat treatments, badass everything. Definitely keep an eye on what he's doing, because he's definitely going to be hitting it big in this community as time goes on, even more so than he has already. Hey, mother, how are you doing, Mom? I love you. Thank you for joining. Happy Easter. Yes, I will call you tomorrow and wish you a happy Easter. S90V over S45 all day. Yeah, for sure. Well, S90V, it's a great stainless steel. It is a great steel. And you know, a lot of companies seem like they don't really have a problem hitting the 61 to 62 range, which is good. You know, it's decent for production knives. So I know a few years ago we weren't seeing that. We were seeing like 59 to 60. So it's nice seeing that a lot of companies now have stepped it up, and it seems like it's paying off. I need to do an edge retention test on it though, because I haven't done one on S90V whatsoever. Uh, I don't. He's like, I'm a free baller. I hate the fucking knife if it can't front flip for shit. But I think that goes for any action. I appreciate it. Just tried to keep up with the chat. Where'd it go? Not what? Not ass it up too bad. Not is it up too bad? The 84 people populated had something to do with the fact that Duty and Rochambeau both told people about it. That definitely helps when you can have people shouting you out and helping you out to get people there. That always helps. And I try to do that from time if I know somebody's going live. But a lot of times I find out, you know, when they're live. Hey, Transparent Knives. I'm already hyped for Blade Show. Going to do a better job playing my route this year. Me too. Me too, man. I'm glad you said that because I always shit the bed on that. I literally will wait until like the last minute. And then not have a plan. I'll make a plan on the air, you know, in the airport. Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. Like, what an idiot. And then I'll show up and realize, like, oh, well, everybody else is already planned. So now they have first dibs. I need to start contacting companies tomorrow and set up a plan. By the way, Brian, I want to bring something up really quick since you're in here. And I'm not going to say what was said or anything because I don't like ever discussing anything that's said in private. And this was said in private, but I left a comment on your video. You seen it. You commented back and it was about you being an Asian. And a guy DM'd me pretty upset about it. And so I didn't go like, we weren't arguing or nothing like that. We were just giving each other's opinions. And I just completely disagreed with everything he was saying. There was nothing he said that I agreed with. It very much seemed like a very victim mentality instead of, you know, like my answer was, I think we should all be able to joke with each other. I think that that's what makes America great is that we are a melting pot and we are all here. You know, if you're American, you're American. Who cares? You know, you know, we should be able, especially friends, we should be able to tease each other, whether it's, you know, doesn't matter what it's about. You know, you should be able to do that. And to fear doing that doesn't, that I think that only makes things worse. That only makes things like almost tyrannical, where you're almost like trying to govern what's coming out of people's mouths or minds. That's stupid. You don't have to agree with anybody with anything. Say if somebody has dark humor, you don't have to agree with them. Just don't fuck with them. But to say like you can't say that, like that to me is just ridiculous. I enjoy, you know, like giving shit back and forth with my friends, you know, goofing around and stuff. And I think that that's also a way to show love. And yeah, so I think to take it a bad way when it's obvious, intentionally made or meant in the good, that to me is it's so beta. I can't stand that shit. Like to me, it's like it's a very weak way to look at things is to think about them as like, in a victim mentality, like that poor me, you know, because of whatever minority reasons or whatever. Like I can't stand that shit. To me, it's like we all have fucking history. We've all been through shit. I could go down the list of the shit that's happened to me, and I never consider myself a victim. And yeah, so like, yeah, I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna go into exactly what we said or anything like that, but yeah, I just it was just kind of weird because, you know, like to say something in a joking fashion and then to have somebody take it so far left as if you're ignorant to your intentions or words. I don't know. I know you didn't look at it like that, but yeah, it was weird to me. Um And obviously he was another Asian gentleman. So, which shout out to him. You know, I'm not trying to talk shit about him or anything like that. I'm glad he said something. I have no problem with having disagreements or conversations or anything like that. And maybe I shouldn't have brought this up. Maybe I should have just kept it in the DMs. Neve says a knife sharpening is just like sex. Sharpen that apex to just losing the burr. Any other applied effort is just a waste of time. That is hilarious. Jared, I'm looking to upgrade my 80-20.5. Should I wait a little longer and get tie scales or be impulsive and get the aluminum ones? So here's the thing. The aluminum ones are very, very lightweight. So that's what you have to consider. Just consider the weight. That's the biggest thing. The aluminum ones, in my opinion, are too light. I prefer the titanium ones tenfold. They're so light, it almost feels like plastic to me. But it obviously it feels like metal in the hand. I just mean the weight wise. So with the titanium, I like that little bit more of weight. It feels more substantial, feels a little bit tougher, and so on. So that's how you should apply it. If being very, very lightweight is going to unbother you, like say if you have the FRN on there right now and it's too light and you don't like how light it is and you want, you know, just think about that. That's what I would do. I think I might have been one of the first people to ever have post a black DLC coated Benchmade Narrows. You probably were. Not many people were posting them for, well, I mean, I know there's posts on them, but it's not like it's riddled with posts of them. Jared, is Spyderco discontinuing K390 or is just a warning? I don't know. I didn't hear anything about that. I don't think so. I got to imagine that they do pretty well with it. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that. Hopefully not, because that's my shit. Hey Jared, happy Easter. Kind of new, but love your channel, bro. Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate it, man. I greatly appreciate it. Kyle, been a member for 19 months. Shout out to Kyle. If you guys ever need any sharpening done, I'm pretty sure he still runs a sharpening service. 19 months and Dennis still sucks. Jared, help him, please. Does anyone know when the crewwear Mannix is dropping? It's been coming soon. That's it. I don't know either, because I know, man. That's one thing that pisses me off about some of these, not only the pre-orders, but the coming soons. Like coming soon should have a fucking timeline, right? Let's say 3 months, right? That's long to me. When I see coming soon and pre-order, I feel like it's going to be here 2 weeks from now. And then 6 months later, I'm like, what is going on? So I think they should have a timeline. Like this has to happen within 3 months or your money back or something. Or I'd say 30 days, man. Because otherwise it's like, what are you doing? Are you selling it to me before you ever even start making it? This is what it feels like. It feels like we don't even have the drawings on paper yet. We're going to sell it to you. And if we get enough buyers, we're going to start making it. That's what it kind of feels like. I know that's not true, but if you ever come on a live, I'd have to say out lay out some Visqueen. It's going to get messy. I'd join you in a live. Brian from Transparent Knives is a gay Chinese man. Okay, Chinese, not even. Oh man, have you had a Lamia Gen 4 yet? I have not. I have not tried the Lamias yet. I know a lot of friends that have, but I haven't. Jonathan just became a member, man. I appreciate the support. Amendment 1, the one we don't have anymore. No, we still have it, and we're still fighting for it. We're always going to fight for it, so continue to fight for it. To me, that's why I'm such an advocate for it. That's why, to me, like, don't tell me not to say something or whatever. Like, you don't have to listen. You don't have to like me, right? I just think you should just do that. Now, I understand, like, if I said something to you personally, face to face, and it bothered you or whatever, you can say, hey, man, I don't like that. And I'd be like, all right, no problem. But to call somebody out online and to ask them not to say, and I'm not talking about what happened. I'm talking about with anybody, anytime. That's crazy to me. It's fucking crazy. Because if you were saying something I didn't like, this is just the way I feel. If you were saying something I don't like, I don't care. I don't like it. I don't care. So what? I would still fight for you to be able to say it. I would want you to be able to say it. If that's how you feel and that's what you want to say, fucking say it. Say it with your chest. And I'll applaud you for it. I wouldn't want you to, I wouldn't want anybody to not have to say what they feel or how they think, because the problem with it is that it only comes, like the freedom of speech, it only comes with speech you don't like. It has nothing to do with the shit we like. It has nothing to do with what you tolerate and what you like. It has to do with what you don't. Because if I am the one who controls, like if it hurts my feelings and you can't say that, well, then next it's going to be your feelings, and then I can't say something. And then next it's his feelings. Next it's his feelings. And then next thing you know, you can't say shit because everybody's feelings are being hurt. Fuck that. That's why I say have dark humor, like grow some thick skin, because that's just a better way to be. Have thick skin and know the world is an evil place, and find great people to enjoy it, with. Thank you, Jonathan. I do appreciate you becoming a member, man. Jared hates Asians. I knew it. I've heard him say a few disparaging things about women too. He's definitely said some disparaging things about women for sure. He's definitely a misogynist. Trouble Bunny says got my grandpa's old nail nick de-rusted, debating sharpening or just appreciating it as is. You know what's funny about that, Bunny? I seen a video. It was a couple weeks ago, and a few weeks ago, it was right before I seen Marine X, or did a live with Marine X. This guy went to a garage sale and bought a little nail nick knife. Like it was, I don't know, like a case. I forget what it was. I think it was a case. Super old, rusty, messed up. And he sat there and made a video cleaning it up and restoring it. And he didn't do anything special. Just, cleaned it up with some, toothpicks and shit like that. He didn't take it apart. He's literally just cleaned it up. Is to the best of his ability, polished the bone up, polished, the bolsters up. It came out looking pretty good, but he got like 300,000 views on that in like 10 days. And he's only got like a couple thousand subscribers. So I was like, wow, that is crazy. Like that just shows you, like, one, how many people obviously were interested in restoring those types of knives, but also just how powerful that community, I'm not saying community, but the people that like those knives, because there is a lot of people that they have a massive following. So the slip joint guys. My opinion is that friends should be able to joke at each other however they want, or they're not actually friends. Right. With strangers, I'll be more reserved about negative jokes. Of course. You're not. I don't think anybody would want to go up to somebody you don't know and say some fucking ridiculous joke. But yeah, when you're friends, it's like, especially when it's not like, we're not talking about, like, I get pretty stupid, but the majority of people, when they joke around, it's pretty lighthearted. Like personally for me, like I love seeing friends joke around and know that, they have love for each other. And it's like, and that's the thing, like, would that person defend you, right? Would he stand up for you? Would he be in your corner? And that, if the answer is yes, then who gives a fuck what he says? You got the best part of him. He's your friend. And yeah, I think that actually grows the biggest bond because I think men just naturally, even women, have, somewhat dark humor to some extent. A lot of us do, just about everybody. To some extent, it just has to be your kind of dark humor, right? That's the way it is. So I think it's a healthy thing for us to enjoy that with each other, whether it's through a little bit of, not hazing, but, goofing around, joking, saying little hysterical things. So like me, when I read my comment section, there's times I spit out water. I'll be drinking water and I'll read something. I'll spit it because it's so funny. You guys are hilarious. Sometimes I watch a video just to read the comments, like on like a video on YouTube. Because when I see the video, I know these comments are going to be fucking brutal, and it just brightens my day. I love it. But that's the beauty of it. We should be able to laugh. I think it's a slippery slope, man, trying to stop people from being able to express themselves, even if you don't like it, man. Just Just look the other way. Haven says, and our jokes in the Air Force is very, very dark. And that's how we as humans cope. Laughter makes our pain easier. Yeah, I seen a video the other day, and it was showing like how it was I think it was the Marines, and how every race was messing with each other or messing with the other race about their race. And it was funny. Like, it was hilarious. Like, they were obviously, there was all love. But you know, it was just, you know, funny humor. And a lot of it was very dark humor, but it just shows you, man, like, that's a brotherhood, right? That's a bond. Like, those guys are going to have each other's backs, you know, without a shadow of a doubt, you know. And when you know that, that's when you can do that, or that's when you feel like you can do that. So I guess that's how I feel, you know, like, if I'm going to joke around with you, then that means I probably have your back. That means I'm probably going to be in your corner. That means I'm probably, you know, like, think about you, you know, as a personal friend. We is bringing back the 601 this year, and they have a pre-order with a date, but are only showing a drawing of it. Well, Bunny, I'm not sure if it's this. I can't sneak peek this, but 601. I don't know if it's the 601. But they have an anniversary knife coming. I don't think it's the 601. Let me look at the 601 really quick. Is that the one with that dual grind? EWIN Knives 601. Yes, it is. Mike Emler has this knife. Oh, it does say coming soon. Oh shit. I think it does look different though. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm looking at. But I do have something here. I can't show it to you guys, but I do have something here. I know this is sneak peeks, but I'm not allowed to show that sneak peek. But this is the original 601. The new one I have, I think, is an anniversary thing. I don't think it's this, but it's kind of similar though, to be honest. Maybe it's just a new version of it. I think it is. I think it might be a new version of it. Hasn't gotten the scales in what? There is a logistical issue at Original Goat. John Evans hasn't gotten his scales in 4 months. Sometimes that does happen. I don't know what's going on. I've been waiting too. I'm just letting it go because I know they're working hard. I know they run into issues at like every company. They're doing their best. So I've been very patient, but I also expect them to send shit out to you guys first. But yeah, just be patient. I actually read it. He actually read it. What did I actually read? What did I read it? I didn't read it yet. Fuck Knife Center. I buy from DLT, Rec, and GP Knives, or motherfucking Need Store. There you go. Yeah, I don't do Knife Center anymore either. There's a few companies I kind of shy away from these days because they don't support your boy. Not that I'm being like a bitch about it or anything, and that I don't want them to do well. You know, I want their business to do well. There's just no point in me supporting a business that doesn't support me when I'm in the field, you know, and I'm trying to help them make money and, you know, get business and stuff when other companies do, you know. So why would I, right? Does that make sense? If I have 5 companies and 3 of them are supporting, and you know, I can you know, I can get affiliate links from them, and they're working with me, they have conversations with me, why would I go and spend my money with these guys over here who won't even answer my fucking call? Like, they won't respond to me. The only response they have to me is no. It's okay. And I don't care. That's fine. They can do that, but I don't have to, you know, shout them out or anything, you know. What are you guys talking about, man? I'm like, I must have skipped it. Steve, you need to make him reading your ringtone. I don't know what we're talking about. Did I read it already? Michael Janik did an interview what? Okay, I'm so behind, Kara said. Michael Janik did an interview pretty recently on Knife Junkie explaining Spider Code drop schedule and why he doesn't really like it. Pretty interesting. All right, I'm gonna catch up after this one. I'm so tired of censorship and everything. Me too. Everything everything like is being censored nowadays. Knives, videos, games, whatever. It's getting old. It is getting so old, and it's been warned so many times. Like you could name 1,000, not maybe 1,000, but you've named dozens of people that have been warning us about this for a long time, and now it's starting to play out. But that's why it's so important for our generation of men, to stand up and say, no, no, we're not doing this. We're not doing this no more. And that's all it takes. Did you guys seen those videos of those guys in the farmers? I forget where it was. I don't know if it was Canada or where it was. I forget. You guys know already. I'm sure you guys seen the videos all over online. But I gotta say, I don't know where it was, but I was rooting for those motherfuckers. Watching the cops try to barricade the streets, and they're like, motherfucker, I got a tractor. Do you know what a barricade's gonna do to a tractor? And they just push it out of the way, and the cops are like, they're having to jump out of the way so they don't get hit. Yeah, I love that. I love that. I love it when the people bark back, and it doesn't have to be violent, but bark back and let them know, like, listen, man, this is our country, right? We make the rules. We're the one, we set the pace, we make the rules, and that's how it's supposed to be. Super Steel Steve with the 5 boom. Do you want to stop censorship? Stop letting people censor you. Say whatever you want, whenever you want. It doesn't take big balls to speak, right? No, for sure, because every time you do, somebody else does. That's the thing. You encourage somebody else. I see it. Kara just gave 5 memberships to you guys. What? For a donation? But no, I 100%. I got the new member, Dan. Dan, I thought you were already a member. Do you come a member every week or something? I feel like you were already a member. I don't see Havens. No, I don't got Havens. I got Jonathan's. Jonathan's a member. I think I already got. Okay, well, I gotta catch back up. Anyways, but yeah, I agree, Steve. You can't. And shout out to Kara. Shout out to the best husband on earth. Oh, baby. There he is. I found it. Havens, been a member for 2 months for 15 to 20 bones. What knives could you recommend? Not much, to be honest. For 15 to 20 bones, the one thing I would recommend is Ganzo, honestly, and that's going to be like $22. But yeah, there's not much because, you get what you pay for, right? But if you want the best bang for your buck, around $20 to $30, go with them. He's just pretending till Kyle left and stopped annoying people, but he engages so well with what people have to say, though. Talking about me, I try to engage with everything, and that's the thing, is that I think we also have gotten used to people not willing to say their opinion on things. And I understand not wanting to get into certain things, like, of course, right? There's certain things it's like, nah, we're not doing this here. I get that. But there's also a level of which, if we're not talking about things and not having conversations, then other people see that. And when they see that, then they get nervous to talk about things. And they don't know where your opinion lies. And then it makes it a little sketchy. Now they don't know how you feel about something. And that's why it's better just to put it out on the table. This is what I think. This is how I feel. You don't have to agree. We can discuss it. If you disagree, let's discuss it. That's the best way to go about everything. Because you don't have to fucking agree. You don't have to agree on anything. That's the beauty. And I think that's also, it's better to not be in an echo chamber. I think we all want to be in a little bit of an echo chamber, but I think it's good to have pushback on your beliefs. Because if it can't stand a damn debate, if it can't even hold up to a damn debate, that's why, like, a lot of the people that over the past few years that refused to debate, I instantly know that they were the evil ones. You aren't even willing to stand on what you say, and you are scared to debate somebody about it. If you fully truly believe in what you're saying, you could stand on it and debate it. And when you won't do that, yeah, that just tells me you're full of shit. I'm on the edge says, interested in knowing what everyone does with their knives. Put them in a drawer, display them. Wife wants to know what I am going to do with all these knives, and I don't have a great answer. You're going to get one of these. I got 20% off, link down in the description. At the bottom of the description, but it's at the description. Near the bottom, not at the bottom. Hey, Mark, man, thank you for the 10 bones. What do you think about Bag Knives Steelcraft Series? Filasso Dagger Fixed Blade 6-inch, 1095 gray PVD, double-edged dagger blade, milled black injection molded handles, bolter-on sheath. I seen it. I think it looks cool. I think a lot of Bag's knives, some people think they look gas station and I agree to some extent, but I also know that that's his style and I appreciate it. I want those things to exist. I want the real, I don't want to say fantasy, but I'm trying to think of the word for it, what you'd actually call it. But let's call it fantasy just for the sake of argument. I want the real deal fantasy things to exist, so even if it's something I wouldn't carry, and I'm not saying I wouldn't carry that, I'm just saying let's say it's something I wouldn't carry, I still want it to exist. And I'm not talking about a gas station version, I'm talking about the real version. Because remember, all gas station knives are doing is trying to look like the real thing. The real thing exists somewhere. Gas station knives is what you see everywhere. So then you think of this as a gas station knife. No, the gas station knife is trying to look like the super expensive, high quality one made out of real materials. It's just you're not looking at that when you're looking at gas station knives. So now your brain has adjusted that to gas station knives. But no, I think they're cool. I think they look cool. They look aggressive. They're not all my style, but some of them are. Some of them are pretty dope. And I know a lot of people love them. I dropped down from Rockstead and now I'm back, baby. Is that what it is, Dan? You dropped down from Rockstead? Well, I appreciate you being a Rockstead, man. Yeah, you were a Rockstead for a minute, weren't you? I appreciate it, man. Thank you for the support. If you guys don't know, Rockstead members get one-on-one live sharpenings if requested. David Jewell. Been a member for 5 months. Stand up, speak out for freedom. Damn right. Damn right. We don't have to agree on anything. We just got to agree on that. Freedom. Hey, Jared, what makes more money for you? Ad revenue or commission from people using your links? Both. It's about 50-50. It's literally about 50-50. Some days, some months are a little bit higher in one, and some months are higher in another. It just depends, one, on the content, what drops, and then obviously views and stuff, but it's typically half and half. You do get what you pay for. I'm trying to make my nephew one of us. There you go. Yeah, me too. I'm always working on them. What do I think of Ontario Carter Prime? I don't know what that is. Ontario Carter Prime? Is this a real thing? Oh, yeah, here it is. I haven't tried. Oh, yeah, I have seen this. I don't know about it. Oh, wrong one. I've seen it on Blade HQ, but I don't know about it. So I don't know what to say about it. It's $45, 57 to 59 HRC D2. It's probably not good. Just by the looks of it. I'm just basing it off the looks. I'm looking at little details, and if you guys want to know the things I'm looking at, one, sharp control and plunge grind is absolute dog shit right there. Bam. So that's a knock. The 57 to 59 HRC, that should be 59 to 60. That's a knock. Hollow grind, that's good. But then I look at, I know this is steel. It has to be because of the price. So what does the clip look like? The clip looks like a milled titanium clip, but it's steel for sure. Probably. Oh, it's made in Taiwan too. Definitely steel then. Oh, it's a titanium handle. Wow. Okay, so now I know it's a piece of shit. Holy cow. $45 made in Taiwan. And it's titanium? Something's wrong. Something is wrong. Let me see. What is it? Like a microphone or something? Let's watch this.
Hey everybody, Mark
Blow
here,
it
and
up
it's
for you
time for
guys.
another Blade HQ overview. All right, today I have for you the Carter Prime from OKC. That is the Ontario Knife Company. We got to see this
I mean, it
unveiled
looks
at
kind of
SHOT Show
cool.
this year, designed by Robert Carter, and based on his generalist
I will say this: the cutoff of the lock bars on the inside, which is actually really good because the clip's not going to catch on that. But
holder, the
we'll
Carter
see.
Prime is now available
Maybe
to
I'm
you
wrong.
in a
Maybe it's
production
dope.
model, and it's a great looking knife, very nice folder, titanium gray on the handle, titanium on the back spacer, and a titanium gray.
What's that?
It's going to give you a
$45.
tip up right hand carry, so we'll give you a shot of that in the pocket.
Oh, come on, man! Open the damn thing. I want to see it open. Okay,
All right,
look
so
like
that's
it
what
had
it
a
looks like when
detent.
you are carrying the
Let's
knife.
see it
As far
again.
as deployment goes, it has that flipper tab on it, and really nice action on this knife.
It looks kind of good. It looks like it has decent
There's a
action.
frame lock. I'll show you that in just.
I mean, he's not going to say if it has bad action. That's the only problem because obviously it's coming from Blade HQ. So yeah, man, it's tough. The price scares you, man. That's a scary price because there is that thing, you get what you pay for. You know, and I'm not saying you can't get good deals. There's lots of good deals, but made in Taiwan, the costs. That's you know, it's tough. I'll say this: you're guaranteed that heat treat's gonna be shit. Fucking guaranteed that. So, you know, if that doesn't bother you, then you know. Care, I personally don't care that he gets behind. What I like is that he talks to the chat. He gets to, like, he's sitting down with you one-on-one, having a personal chat. Yeah, I try to do that. That's what I like to do. I want to make sure, I want to make it more friendly where it's just like we're just chilling. Because if you meet me at Blade Show or wherever, this is exactly what you're gonna get. Like I don't I'm not faking anything, so I'm just who I am. And when you meet me in person, you're gonna get the exact same thing, which is what I've always wanted. Me and Kara talked about this in the beginning, you know, like about my mouth, the way I talk, my lingo, and things like that. And being careful with things I'm saying and shit like that. And at first in the videos recording it, I was not careful, but then over time I got a lot of comments and it was like, yeah, I probably should for children. And I want kids to be able to watch the content and get into knives and stuff. But I just said, but in the lives, I have to be just me, right? Not that I'm faking anything in the recorded, but I just don't curse, right? I don't curse and I try not to say anything out of pocket, you know. But in the lives, this is just me live. I'm not, this isn't me editing anything. I'm not recording anything. I'm just sitting here with you. So I want you to get just me, and then if you meet me in person, you know what you're going to get. Yep. There's a sizzled option now. Yeah, that's always awesome. I'm hoping that this company with these stones that I keep talking about, these resin bonded diamond stones and the metallic bonded diamond stones, I'm hoping these guys will take the sizzle too, because I know these are going to be expensive. So that'd be nice. I absolutely agree. I am going to say what I want anyway. Just saying they're trying to take it. Hell, I'll die for my rights. Yeah, that's how we all have to be. If you're like that and that's the way you are, then they can't do anything about it. That's the beautiful thing about it. It's the people that are fearful of it and are not willing to fight for it or die for it or whatever. And then the people that refuse to say things in fear of something happening to them that they seen happen to somebody else. That's the most dangerous thing, right? Like somebody saying something at work and getting fired or whatever. So now everybody else is like, well, I don't want to get fired. You got to have that mentality. Like, it's just a job. It's just a job. Yeah, you might have work. Maybe it's a blessing, because in order to open a better door, you have to close a worse door. So sometimes maybe that's a good thing. Custom EDC 9 says, hi everyone, how's it going? I will hopefully be announcing a folding design I'm coming out with in about a month. Prototypes should be coming in a few weeks. OEM is Recman USA. Very cool, man. Excited to see it. Oh, yeah, that sounds dope. Can't wait to see it. Congress can't even have a decent debate, much less the general public. Yeah, I know. Peter Flanagan's been a member for 16 months. Why does Spyderco only do K390 in backlocks? I fucking hate backlocks. I know, and I feel the exact same way. But they did do them in the PM2. They have done it in the PM2. And then they've done it in fixed blades. But yeah, I know what you mean. The ones that you can buy normally are the backlocks, and I don't know why that is. I wish that they would do more or other locks with that steel. Transparent Knife says people think they can change people's opinions by silencing them instead of talking to them facts. I've had my mind changed on plenty of topics, but never without a lengthy conversation. That is so true. And that's the worst thing about, like, let's say it's somebody who believes in evil shit, right? And I mean, like, they really do. And most of us, we all disagree with them. Let's just say it's true. Whoever it is, doesn't matter. Pick a guy in your head. If he's not saying it out loud, he still thinks it. He's still that guy. It's still happening. So, in my opinion, I'd rather hear it. I'd rather hear it, know it, and be like, okay, well, that fucking guy, is whatever, right? And I don't want to associate with that or be around that. And if I have a conversation with him, I know the way he thinks, and I know, how to work it out. And I know, like, if we get to this topic, it could lead to a fist fight or something. So, I might know that maybe we shouldn't, whatever, just things like that. But I don't want to not know. I'd rather just have it out there, and then you can change each other's opinions on things if you're willing to talk about things. But if you're not willing to talk about it at all and be silent, and that's another thing too, it's very ignorant to do that, because this is what I've noticed, right? Personally. And I'm not saying this is true. This is just from my personal experience. The people that don't want that usually are the people believing in things that are really not true, or are leaning to a side to where it's very propaganda and things like that, and they don't have any footing to stand on, so they don't want to debate it. They don't want to argue it. They're stuck in their corner, and they want their echo chamber. They don't want anybody to disagree with them, because they don't want to have to stand on their beliefs, because if they do, it'll fucking crumble. So instead of their beliefs crumbling from underneath them, they won't debate it. They won't argue it. They won't talk about it. And that is what I noticed. So it's like, if that's true, then it's like, when those people are standing out, it's like their beliefs aren't really much to stand on, because they're not willing to stand on them, rather than say, okay, I believe in this so much, I'm willing to talk about it. And also, if you're just trying to lead to the truth, why wouldn't you want to debate? I think that's another problem, is we have two sides. And I'm not saying like left and right sides. I just mean, like, if there's two people, two different sides of whatever topic, if both parties want to get to the truth, then they're willing to talk about it. If one side's saying, no matter if you get me with facts and everything, I still won't, back down, or I still won't concede or whatever, then that's a problem, right? That's a problem, because you're not trying to get to the truth. You're trying to win. And trying to win, even if you're wrong, that's bad, right? It's one thing to be wrong and be like, you know what? You got me. You're right. That's probably true. I was looking at it wrong. You win. I'll get you next time. That's a better way to do it than stand, because everybody's seen this. Everybody's seen somebody. It's like, you've lost and you still won't budge. You're holding strong to something. And I'm sure I've done that too, man. I'm sure I've done that too. Steve with the 2 bones. 1095 is the objective dog shit. I'm on the edge, but remember, for 1 month, thought it had been longer working on it. I thought it had been longer too. Yeah, 1095. I don't have a lot of 1095. Most of the 1095 that I've seen have been in like samurai swords and shit. I have one in 1095 right now that is a battle ready sword, but that kind of makes sense to me. But yeah, I don't see. I mean, I think like SE and I don't know if it's SE, but I know like those companies like SE like to use steels like that. But yeah, I feel like we are way too much in the modern day. Like, why not just move to the future? We got so much. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, we know for a fact we have things that are better. Why go to the worst things? When, especially if the price isn't much different. You know what I mean? Like, I can understand if you're like, well, that stuff's so expensive compared to this. Because I'm not saying super steels. I just mean whatever's the next step better. I think that's what we should always lean towards. I'm on the edge. Happy Easter. He is risen. Thank you for the 2 bones. I appreciate it. Happy Easter to you. God bless. Mark, why did Work Tough Gear release a version of the Puzan, the Puzi, with an orange handle? Of course, that version is still available while others are sold out because it's the orange one. Something people don't want to admit: experienced reviewers and collectors can just look at a knife and guess correctly 99% of the time if it's a piece of shit or not before any testing, carrying, etc. Yeah, I actually did a video a long time ago trying to show people how to look at that. Now, it's not perfect accuracy, but it's pretty good. You know, it's just little things. And I went through like a fine-tooth comb, like how you can look at this, like even just down to geometry, right? I would say, okay, do you want to know if this thing has bad geometry? Let's look at the blade stock thickness and let's look at how broad the blade is. If it's a narrow blade and it's got a thick blade stock, it's impossible for it to have good geometry. So just like things like that. You know you're old when you're slow sipping an Alka-Seltzer on a Saturday night. That's funny. It does have loose ball bearings. It's been out forever, so it's probably just on clearance, getting rid of the remaining Ontario models. Oh yeah, I'd stay away from that thing. Its action is not good. It's a T6 and it's way too thick. Must be talking about that knife. I'm catching up, guys. I'm sorry, I'm so backed up. I'm just gonna catch up. So anything that was said that I didn't read, just rewrite it. Hopefully, let me make sure I didn't pass any super chats. Let me read Blue Sun because I don't think I've seen their comment before. Few people can have their minds changed these days. That's true, and that's what I meant by that argument that it's when somebody's not willing to say that they're wrong or that you might be right, or even just they don't even have to say that. They can literally just say, you know, I didn't think about it like that. You know, I'll have to think about it more, and then I might come to a different conclusion because I know I've definitely done that, and I've definitely not known something, started looking into something, heard the first thing, started believing it, but then very quickly started seeing other arguments to the contrary and quickly started realizing like what I thought about this was not the right thing. They suffer from confirmation bias. If it confirms their beliefs, they accept it. Else it's fake news. Yeah, and that the problem with it is that there is a lot of that, though. You know, that's the problem. And then some stuff that's true, it's called fake, and the stuff that's not, it's a bunch of bullshit. That's why it's better to really deep dive. If you really care about something, you want to know, you should watch both sides. Both sides, listen to both arguments, both debates, hear different arguments, hear even 2 people in those fields argue about it, and see, who do I line up with more? Who do I believe more? Who is more convincing? And it's not even just about convincing, you know, like it's just who's, you know, because to me, it's usually pretty obvious. I usually can listen to 2 people and know like which guy I have more beliefs similar to. Not saying we have to believe in everything the same, but it's just, you know, who I'm more like, you know, and I could say some pretty offensive shit right now about different people that I'm talking about that I absolutely would not agree with, right? If they're sitting there debating somebody that I'm more likely to agree with, then yeah, I'm way more likely to believe them. However, if they start saying some shit and it makes sense, then I'm going to say they're right. You know, it doesn't matter. Transparent Knives, bingo. Political correctness was created during Stalin's regime or reign to get people to self-censor. Yeah, I think that's like been a tactic like for so long, obviously since Stalin. But I mean, it's like I heard somebody else talking about this. It was a few weeks ago. I think it might have been Jordan Peterson. He was talking about, you know, how they would do it with the newspapers and how they started it with that. And you know, like they learned really quickly, like that. Oh shit, propaganda works. Like we can literally get these people to believe whatever we want. It's our narrative, whatever we make it. And then if they do start believing something else, we can quickly, because like even now, man, your phones are set up to make you believe shit. You wouldn't believe how like crazy in depth the technology gets with knowing you. They know you. Trust me. They know you very fucking well. Not only do they know you, they know what to put in front of you to encourage you to believe some things, which is scary. Meaning, like say, if they want you to not like somebody, right? Well, then they'll say something in front of you and make up, like, talk about like this horrific thing and why people do this and blah blah blah. Then all of a sudden, like the next thing you watch is about this guy, or maybe it's a couple days later, and it's not, they're not related in any way, but he did that thing, or they're saying he did that thing, and then so now you have a bias towards that being a bad thing. And just, it's so weird, man, when you really start breaking down like the social media and how things are put in front of you, and how it's like almost pre-planned to be put in front of you. And every time I see something, me and my cousin were talking about this earlier, every time I see something on social media, it's like, what are they hiding? You're always trying to look around the screen, because it's like, you're putting this in front of me. That means there's something you don't want me to see, because otherwise you wouldn't even be talking about this or bringing it up. 80 CRV2, 1080, 26C3, 5160, even 1075 is better than 1095. See, I did not know that. That's the thing, is I don't know a lot about the carbon steels as much as a lot of other people. I tend to stick to the modern steels. I'm not saying that they don't have a place. I'm not saying that at all. Obviously they do. And I'm sure, like, being a custom maker or something, maybe some of those steels are really easy to work with and it'd be a great steel to learn on. I don't know. But yeah, I tend to want more of the modern stuff, especially now that, I know steels a little bit more. I'm giving my nephew this phone so I can use my new one. So this account would technically be his. So try not to confuse us, because his name is also Haven. I'm looking for something really thin behind the edge, like the kite fin or cubit. Any ideas? Kite fin or cubit? Well, depends on what blade shape you want, but this is nice and thin behind the edge. The Mad Tonto. If you want USA made, I can give you some options for that. If you want really thin, go with one of these Jack Wolfs. This is mega thin. Even thinner than the knives you're talking about, Joe. But if you don't have that budget, because those are, pretty expensive, I like the button lock L. Oh, why didn't I think of this? You should go with this. Quiet Carry Waypoint Large. Look at that. That is thin. 85 thousandths blade stock thickness, 15 thousandths behind the edge with a nice deep hollow grind. Very fucking slicey. This is one of my favorite users right now. Everything is a double-edged sword. It's hard to change a group of people's minds. I find it easier to talk to like-minded people. I think that's everybody. Everybody's going to talk to like-minded people, but it's about, and that's fine. Everybody can do that, but don't try to silence the people that are not like-minded, or not, they don't believe in the things you believe in. Let them be, let them say whatever they want, as long as they're not, hurting anybody, obviously, right? But as long as it's just words. This woke cancel culture in mainstream media has eliminated informed consent and created a culture of perpetually offended pussies, creating weak people that are easily manipulated. Fucking facts. Yeah, man. I can't, and you wouldn't believe how many times a day, like, I'm watching my phone or social media, and I can't help but call whoever I'm looking at a fucking pussy. Like, it's mind-boggling to me how weak, and it's our fault, man. I'm literally talking to the men right now. Like, the men are weak. Like, they're a bunch of fucking pussies, and I'm not, trying to talk shit, but it's just, it's crazy, man, how much you'll see so many weak men on social media. Like, I would be embarrassed. Honestly, I'd be embarrassed. I watched a guy the other day. I wouldn't be able to live with myself. His wife pretends she sees something and gets so terrified, she's acting like it's coming after her, right? So she gets scared, and he sees her get scared, so instantly thinks there's something there, right? Something's there. He knows something's there. Instead of running fucking towards it, he ran away. He ran away. He left her. He left her behind. Like, oh, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. I would literally, oh, fuck. I would, like, you don't have to be a tough guy. You don't have to be a tough guy, but it's like, say if it's your kid, right? Would you run and let your kid get, you know, hurt or bit or whatever by something? You know, like it just doesn't correlate with my brain. You don't have to be a tough guy to fucking know that it's your responsibility to take that on. You know, it's just so crazy to me. And it was almost like he didn't have a care in the world that he did that. I'm sure he was embarrassed afterwards, but and the scream that came out of him. Fuck, man. It's scary, man. It's scary. I want to admit to knowing the answer to every question in the universe. Yeah, they're strangely upset when I admit to not knowing the answer to every question in the universe. Jared, my wife told me about the fragrances you recommended to her, and I want to say thanks a lot. The blue smells phenomenal. Fuck yeah. I'm guessing you're talking about the Dylan Blue. You got the Dylan Blue? It's good shit, right? We got a good one that we're going to talk about right now. Hell yeah, man. I'm happy that you got that. That stuff's fire. And from somebody who's tried a lot of fragrances, there is a lot of fragrances that do this, but there's also a lot that don't, where you can get long lasting, very powerful, intense, and a phenomenal smell for a low price. That's almost unheard of. You're almost never going to get that. If you get all those things, expect expensive in most cases, not all, but most. And that is, you know, it's got everything going for it. Don't have any, allows to form carbides. Don't have edge retention for all the 10X series steels and low alloy carbon steels is nearly identical. If HRC is equated, 1095, 1080, 80 CRV2, etc., all have the same edge retention because they all don't have any, they don't allow it to form carbides. Nice. Very well explained. 1080, 80 CRV2 both have lower carbons, thus lower potential. Carbon is in solution carbide, thus much better toughness. 1095 at 60 HRC had the same toughness as M390 at 63 HRC. Nice to know. All great information. Okay, so the fragrance of the day, I actually am going to let somebody else share it with you. I have it right here, but I'm going to let somebody else share it with you because I think she explains it a little bit better than me. Where's it at? Oh, shit. Okay. Make sure you guys can see that. All right, you guys ready? Listen up, because she's gonna start talking right away. I'm gonna skip and go back so you can hear.
What's too big at EDC? This is the go-to.
Man, this is the best fragrance I've ever smelled. Like, what on earth? Insanity. We have CEDRAT BOISE by MANCERA. I want to cry. This fragrance has been my favorite for years. I've never smelled something so ridiculously amazing before in my life. Citrusy, vanilla, musky deliciousness in a bottle. I think if I had to choose one fragrance to smell on a man for the rest of my life, I want this one. CEDRAT BOISE checks every single box for me. It is sexy, very attractive, comforting, versatile. It has enough punch. You can even wear it in the winter. It literally awakens every single cell in my body. I don't know what else to tell you guys. This is easy wear, easy compliment. Women absolutely adore this fragrance. Performance is great, but if you want something that lasts even longer, go for the intense version. Personally, this is it for me. Don't speak to me until you have this in your collection. When you do, then we can talk again.
Okay, shout out to Scab really quick.
This is the Go-To by Midgard Messer.
Go and give Scab some love. Awesome guy. I seen he was on the next feed. Obviously, I watch his shit. Go and subscribe to his channel. Now, MANCERA CEDRAT BOISE however the fuck you say it. Amazing shit. So the when she said citrusy, yes, the vanilla part, it probably has it in there, but you don't smell vanilla. So if you don't like vanilla in your fragrances, you don't smell vanilla. Don't even consider that. It's a strong citrus, very masculine scent, woody, very, very manly in a good way. It is fresh, but not in like a shower gel type of fresh. It is fucking phenomenal. Now, this is technically a replica of Creed Aventus. However, I personally think this is even better. The problem is this is like 180 bucks. But I got something for you guys. For $34, you can get this one. I linked both of these down in the description. This is $34. This is the exact same scent. They're both Creed Aventus clones. I personally like this one a little bit more. This one, they're so close, like like 9 out of 10 people would not be able to tell the difference. And they've even done blind things on this where they couldn't tell the difference. So I want to make that clear. They are that similar. But I find this one to be just a little bit sharper and this one a little bit smoother, but not by much. Yeah, this one's just a little bit sharper, a little bit smoother, but they're the same exact scent. A badass scent, beautiful scent. Citrus bomb, you know, it's very citrusy. I think it's a pineapple is the top note. So it's like a pineapple plant smell with like I said, some woodiness in there, super masculine, but very fresh. It comes off, how do I say, it comes off not barbershoppy. I don't want to use that because I have a lot of barbershop fragrances, but it almost has like a pinch of barbershop in it, just a pinch. And which makes it though, it brightens it up. It's a bright scent with a little bit of smokiness in there and some musk. So it's like a musky, smoky, citrus bomb. It's fucking fire. And a lot of men love this. Like, this is super fucking popular. I can't recommend it enough. Long lasting. This is super affordable too. This is a more higher quality bottle with a magnetic top and everything. These MANCERA fragrances, I love them. I think they do a really good job. They put high quality oils inside these bottles, and usually they're only like $100. This one just happens to be the most popular one, so it winds up being 180, but most of them are 80 to 100. But these guys make the same thing like these guys do, high quality fragrances for a lot less, but these guys do it for way, way, way less. Still high quality, still great, you know, oils and everything. Now, if you know those ones already, right? Say if you know those, say you have them. Maybe you know the scent. Maybe you've tried Creed Aventus. Man, that fucking smells so good. Then maybe you might want something that's very similar with a spin on it. We have Alexandria Game Time. This stuff is the same thing as this with another fragrance added to it, which is Baccarat Rouge 540, which is a very popular fragrance too, but adding it to it, it basically sweetens it up. It adds, so they say this has fruitiness in there, but when they say fruitiness, it's the pineapple. It's not fruity. It's not like candy fruity. You would never smell this like, oh, that's fruity. No, you never say that. It smells citrusy. This has a sweetness to it, so it does add a little bit of fruitiness to it. Not fruity gay, but you know, fruity, like, you know, like the fruits, the smell of fruits, but it's sweet, masculine. It doesn't get feminine leaning. It's very masculine, very appealing, very mass appealing. I've gotten tons of compliments with this. I've talked about it many times. Like even today, I was wearing this and I got a couple compliments from the ladies at the post office. They always compliment me though. But yeah, very, very good fragrances. I linked them all down in the description. You can get this for like 43 bucks. High quality. Look, you can see how much I got in there. High quality oils in there. So all three of these are really good. Like I said, you can't go wrong with any of them. This is the one I recommend probably the most, but it is the most expensive. So next would probably be this one and then this one. This one, it's just they're so close that it doesn't matter. You know, you can flip a coin. This one, like I said, is just a little sharper. Not by much though. Yeah, this is just a little bit smoother than this one. But then this, like I said, sweetens it up a little bit. Let me just pop it around really quick. Yeah, it sweetens it up big time. It basically adds some fruitiness in there. And I mean like candy like fruitiness, not like the pineapple plant or plant like fruitiness, which is a lot of times what I'm talking about. This is more of like a little bit of a candy sweetness to it. But yeah, very, very good. My wife says she's lucky if I remember to put on deodorant in the morning. Get a fragrance and you'll blow her mind. Not fruity gay would be protected under the Don Rickles Act. Did you guys ever eat too much pineapple? The acidity can essentially cook your tongue. It can feel sore and raw if you eat too much pineapple. I have actually had that happen. I've also had that happen with warheads. You guys ever ate the sour warheads when you were a kid and you ate too many in a row and it burnt the skin off your tongue? Oh my God. I think the HRC stays around mid-60s. I'll check tomorrow to see what I can get them to go. Go to Tops. You'll see it there. You're not giving names here. I did give names. I said Alexandria Game Time. I got them linked in the description. You don't even have to know the names. They're in the description. This is Alexandria Game Time. Link down in the description. Everything's always linked down in the description. Then this one's MANCERA, CEDRAT BOISE. And then Club DUNI Intense Man. ARMAF. It's linked down in the description. Very easy to find. It's at the top too. It's good to eat pineapple for ladies. I've heard that. You know, dogs, it's also stops them from eating their own shit. If you have a dog that keeps eating its own shit, give them some pineapple. They won't do it again. It tastes horrific to them afterwards. Jared, I'm wearing the Muskin Hustle Baccarat Rouge 540 right now. What he's oh, I don't have it right here. I put it up. He's talking about the roller, the nitro rollers, or the oils from Muskin Hustle. Great brand. They basically do high concentrated oils of very popular fragrances. The one he's talking about is a very, very powerful. It's very similar to this, but in a very powerful oil form. Have you ever smelled the Versace I mentioned? Which one was it? The Versace, I can't remember which one it was. I've tried most of the Versaces, but not all of them. Why do you have so many fragrances? I like them. I like fragrances. I like to smell good. I like to feel good. I like to share them with you guys. I like to tell you guys about them. I like helping men. So just pure, I think it's good because, you know, kind of like we were talking about earlier, you know, like I said, when I watch the internet, man, I see a lot of fucking weak men. And not only that, but also I came from a place where most men didn't grow up with a father. Most men grew up in single mother households. I was blessed to grow up with a father. So I was very blessed to have a father, but most of my friends, most of the people I grew up with didn't, including my brother, my best friend. He didn't have a father. That's why my dad took him in. But anyways, so he did have one, you know, considering my dad, but I'm saying he wouldn't have. Anyways, the point is that I think it's good to try to help men, you know, be better or try to be better or want to better themselves and, you know, want to improve themselves or whatever, however they see fit, whether that's with money, work ethic, looks, whatever, you know. I just think it's good. I think it's healthy. I think it's healthy for everybody to do that. You should always strive for better. I don't think it's ever good to get comfortable in a place and say, this is where I'm at, this is where I'm staying, fuck getting better. And you know, that's stupid. Why would you ever do that? How do you sharpen? Blue. Ooh, damn it. Why is that? Weak men ruin future generations in more ways than you can imagine. Yeah. Yes, they do. Blue Sun. No, oh, that's for somebody else. Tom Ford's Extreme Noir. EDP is amazing, but the price, yeah. I got a couple knockoffs. I've tried a couple Tom Fords, but I've bought a lot of the clones just because they're so much more affordable because his shit's so expensive. And I'll be honest, there's a lot of them I don't like. There's a few I love. Don't get me wrong. There's some I fucking love, but I found that there's some that I like better, other company spinoffs of it. So like other companies will take his fragrances and do like a spin on them, and in many cases smell even better than his. That is hilarious. I forgot it's not barbecue. It's definitely not barbecue. I didn't think it was too ornate at all. What's too ornate? Jared, I'm gonna blind buy that Mercedes Man Gray. I'll let you know. Hell yeah. Yeah, I'd like to try more of the Mercedes fragrances. I actually heard of one today. I think it's an a Banderas fragrance, but it's only like $20. And supposedly it's really, really, really good. But I haven't tried it yet. I think I'm going to buy it. Have you ever reviewed Boatwright Blade Works Dreadnought? The Warncliffe fixed blade is amazing. I don't think so. Doesn't sound familiar. I feel like Dreadnought does, but I don't know. Jared, I agree. Some of the clones are really on point and better. Yeah. Well, I didn't ever think that would be true until it came true. Then I realized, like, whoa, some of these fragrances that are $400, $500, right? They don't have to be that much. They're that much because of their advertisements and the popularity. Other companies can make that exact same fragrance for $40 and sell it to you and still make a profit, because literally it costs to make this right here. With this type of bottle would be more expensive. So this would be like probably like $15 for them to make, maybe like $10 for them to make, because some of the oils that are in here are very expensive. Like anything with oud is so fucking expensive. But anyways, the point is that it's not like nowhere near what they're charging for it, obviously. But when you start talking about these super expensive fragrances, they hired a guy who does charge a lot of money probably to make it and things like that, but still, like, they wind up charging way too much, and then another company will swoop in and make the exact same thing for way less. And it's not stealing. It's not stealing because you can't clone, or you can't patent a scent. You can't, because oils are oils, right? Smells are smells. You can't patent a smell. You can't say, I own the smell of cherry, right? You can't do that. So there's no way. There's not stealing it all. The only thing they can steal is the name, the bottle, color, things like that, if it gets specific. But man, some of the clones, man, they still get close. They'll get as close as possible. And I don't like that. I'm not saying that that's a good thing. I personally don't like that, but I don't think it ruins their business at all, man, because these guys, they're making a killing, some of these fragrance companies, man, because they're making the bottles. Some of them are like just a few dollars. Like even Jeremy Fragrance said that. He said he figured out he could get his bottles made, or his fragrances made, for just a few dollars, and then sell them for like $350, $400. And that's what he does. And he sells it for that much because he can, because people will buy it. Oh, Versace Pour Homme. Yeah, I have that one. Yeah, I love the Pour Homme. So Versace Pour Homme is my favorite office or work fragrance. I think it's a great gym fragrance. It's a fresh, that's what it is. It smells like fresh, clean, manly, masculine linen, basically. So just think fresh and clean out of the shower, man. Like, that's what it smells like. It is fucking fire, though. And the beautiful thing about it is that that's all it smells like. Fresh, clean. Maybe you can put linen in there, fresh, clean linen, but with a masculine musk to it. So there's nothing intrusive about it. There's nothing insulting about it. Nobody can dislike it. If anybody disliked it, then they have to admit that they don't like clean. You know what I mean? So there's no way that you can, and nobody would, because it's really good. Of course, your family would love to be able to beat down the attacker and win, but if you don't, you've got to at least have tried. Yeah, I would say it's your duty, even if it's your duty to die that day. I say it's still your duty. But I'm pretty cold with that stuff. Like, I'm pretty cutthroat when it comes to that, and I don't think all men are going to agree with me 100% on things. Not that I don't think they should, because I do think they should. But I am very much like, it's a man's duty to die for those things. Like, like like just for in a situation, you know, like if a bear comes running out of the woods and you're with your wife, girls, whoever, right? Kids, it's your duty to run towards that fucking bear so that they can get away. You know what I mean? Like that's your job. Your job right there is to fucking die and to do it proudly. And I think if a lot more men thought like that and stood by it too, because it's one thing to say it, it's another thing to do it. You know, to run towards danger when it's happening in order to protect your loved ones. But I do know a lot of men just naturally are going to do it. It's just something wrapped in our DNA. Even if you don't think you would, even if you think you're scared right now, in many cases, a lot of people would run. Don't get me wrong. A lot of people are going to run. Like, just like we were talking about earlier, fucking, there wasn't even nothing there and the guy ran. Fucking pussy. But a lot of men would run towards it, you know, because it's just, you know, your protective nature, you know, it's your duty to protect your pack and your family. That's, you know, it's like the alpha wolf, right? Like his duty is to protect his pack. Jared, do you use a scent less body was in shampoo, or do you mix different scents with? So I mix. So my body fragrances, like, or body soaps and stuff, I get manly stuff, but it's not like I don't get anything that's super crazy high scented. I usually use the fragrances for my scent rather than my shampoos and things like that. Like, obviously deodorant's deodorant, but I tend to not get things that are super high smelling. But I mean, like, even if they do, it doesn't matter because I'm going to put a fragrance on, because I guess some of the stuff I do has a strong scent. But yeah, I don't even think it's mixing and matching, because the thing with like a shampoo or a conditioner, it only lasts 20-30 minutes and that shit's gone. So it's better to, when you're fresh out of the shower, after you're shaving and everything, give yourself a couple pops, and yeah, then you're gonna feel and smell good all day or the rest of the day. Blue Sun says, I was a first responder at 9/11. Appreciate that, man. At 9/11 and at a memorial, one guy talked about tower runners. Yep. Those who ran towards the towers when everybody else was running away. Yeah, no, I dude, that shit brings a tear to my eye, because I can imagine, you know, and yeah, I our history is full of men like that. Those are the men that we're supposed to look up to. Those are the men that should be, you know, on our walls. Those are the men that died for us, right? And you know, I think that is the type of men to be proud of, to put on a pedestal, to say this is who I want to be like. Not some of the ones we see, you know, being popular and being pushed into being popular, you know, just degenerates or whatever, you know. But yeah, who says you need to go out and fight a bear? Pull that neck. Well, it's not about, I'm not saying like, I'm not saying if you have a gun, don't shoot it. If you don't have it, whatever, do whatever you have to. I'm just saying the other person has to get away. This is what I'm trying to say. If me and my wife got into a race, I'm going to win. I promise you, I'm going to win that race. So if we race and I win, that means she dies, right? So that's my point. She's slower than me. So if she's slower than me, she's going to need a little bit more time to get away. And if it's your kid, same thing. So, and it's just, and that's just a scenario. I could name a million scenarios like that, you know, and even things that have happened to me where it's like, you know, crazy shit's happened. And that's why I know I'm willing to run towards things, just because I have so many times. But, you know, I tell you what, man, there's been a lot of times, man, where you're fucking scared shitless and you don't want to. You really don't want to, man. So that's why I say put yourself in uncomfortable situations so that you're more comfortable with going into crazy shit. What would be a good knife to fight a bear? A spear, maybe? Nothing. That's tough, man. It's tough. You're gonna want something pokey, Yeah, Probably something that's very strong, very pokey. It's like you need precision and pokiness, and you need everything at the same time, basically, because you need your best chance. But a spear would probably be the best to thrust with, something like that. Spartan sword, something like that, something you can thrust and cut with. I don't, it's going to be tough because you can smack that bear with that thing, and he's probably not going to fucking care. He'll probably only care if he gets poked really, really fucking hard. Go after his eyes, go after his face. You'd be surprised, like a lot of bears, will run, in the threat because they still fear you. A lot of the ones that get tough and they come at you, they're usually false charging. Not always, but a lot of them do. That one time when me and Kara were in Colorado and that bear fell out of the tree next to us, and I did exactly what I just said. I had Kara backing up and I stood there in front of it. And I pulled out a knife. That's all I had. That's all I had on me. So it was like the only thing I had, but I could see the bear didn't want anything. I could see that bear didn't want to fight. He was looking to run. He fell out of the tree and he was standing there next. So like he fell out of the tree right next to us, like right here, like right there, like literally like 6 feet, maybe 10 feet. Fell out of the tree. And now he's hanging onto the tree like this, and his head's like around the tree, So like he's like hugging it like this, looking at me. And as he's looking at me, and since I did a lot of animal training and dog training, I know body language really well with animals. He kept doing this. He kept going like this. And I could tell like that's him looking for an exit. He's looking for an exit, but he's too scared to turn his back on me. And we're so close, he's not willing to turn his back on me, but he's so terrified. He's trying to make sure he has an exit if I attack him. That told me right there, like this bear's not trying to fight. So Kara had already backed up, far enough, and I could feel that he was trying to get away. So I just stepped backwards 2-3 feet, and then he relaxed, got down on all fours, and turned around and went that way. Good knife for a bear would be one that goes bang. Yeah, exactly. Knife Center answered that question today. He said a knife sharpener has a sharp what? Maybe he felt embarrassed and walked away because of it. Fighting a bear up in a tree with a pole arm, something with reach, definitely 100%. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you want something for a little bit of distance, but I do think a Spartan sword might be pretty good because you can thrust, slice, something like that. Like, not saying just that exact thing. A bowie, literally a real bowie, I think might not be a bad idea because you can thrust and chop with it. It's got that pokey tip that you can hit from any angle, but you wouldn't want to, man. That's not a good fight to get into, man. The strength of a fucking bear is just outrageous. If it's a black bear, okay, I'll fight a fucking black bear. But a brown bear, grizzly bear, anything like that, I'll be honest though, when I was in Colorado, I did see a black bear that was like, I would not fuck with something like that. Because it was while he was about to cross the road, we're driving by, his head was up to the window. I'd never seen a black bear that big. Black bears are always like 150 pounds, like a big giant dog. This motherfucker was big, like real big. And I think it was a big female because I think she had cubs with her. But yeah, so that would have been one that, yeah, it probably wouldn't be a winning battle without a good weapon. I see black bears every day. Yeah, I don't. I did. I don't know if you guys seen the video of the coyotes. This video I put on Instagram. I can't believe nobody fucking watched it. I'm gonna show you guys it. Oh, what the hell? What are you doing to me? It's trying to make me log in like a dumb fuck. I don't know why. Let me just do something. Anyways, I'll just have to do it later. Anyways, I was going to show you guys. I posted a video on Instagram. I was taking a walk. I was filming this knife right here, the quiet carry. and a pack of coyotes came running, and man, you can hear them. They are so close. They're so loud. There's so many of them. It's always Kara's fault. Always. Bear spray. Yeah, but that's actually a really good idea, Mark. And I should have said that because that's always what I think of when I think of bears is have bear spray. Bear spray is a really good thing to have, especially a good quality bear spray, by the way, not just a bear spray. A good quality bear spray is something you'd want. A firearm's the best, but you know, bear spray does work. Polar bears are the worst. A polar bear, the reason why is because a polar bear doesn't eat other things. When they see you, their intention is to eat you. That's all they do. They're out in icy shit. Every opportunity they have to eat, they have to take. So when they see you, you are food, nothing else. There's no, like, it's not like they berries and leaves over here and catch a salmon. No, they fucking look for meat always. And if you're breathing, you are meat. So that's the scary part about them, because they can't afford for you to get away. They can't afford to run away from you. That's the scary part. Oh man, yeah, that's bad. Do you guys remember I did that? I think it was to Jim Skelton. I gave him two different things. One of them was, I forget what they all were, but basically one of them was, would you rather, right? And you guys can answer this. Go ahead. Would you rather run from very, very fast zombies? So they're, well, not very fast, just fast. Like they're fast zombies, right? So these are fucking the Walking Dead zombies. They're trying to eat your flesh off your body, but they're fast. Or zombies that are very slow, but they all want to molest you very slowly. Which one are you picking? Are you picking the fast ones? The slow ones will be the easiest ones to get away from. You'll be able to keep a distance away, but when they do catch you, and if they catch you, they're going to have a good fucking time with you. They're not eating you alive. What are you picking? What? Run from male zombies trying to rape them? Yeah, they're all male. They're all male. Yeah, if they're female, you don't want that. Well, then theirs is the opposite. Whatever. But yeah, I would say that the female, like, say if you're a male and you're like, oh, female zombies, that's not a good thing. Flesh falling off of your body, nasty, stinky. You're gonna stink like rotting corpse. You're not gonna want to get molested by that. What? Well, you're not. Well, the other way, you're gonna get bitten and eaten, but it's gonna be fast. You're gonna die fast. That's the point. But yes, if they're fast, then it's a lot harder to get away. But if they're slow, it's easier to get away. But if they do catch you, it's gonna go down real slow. How is he? How is he doing? That's hilarious. Slow zombies. I'm lonely. I'll be honest. I probably picked the slow ones too, just because I feel like I could get away from them. Like, because that's the way you feel. Like, man, if they're slow, I can just run fucking circles. I just need energy. But if they're fast, because when you watch like DayZ or whatever the fuck, no, not DayZ. What is it called? What's the one with Patrick Swayze? It's Z something, I thought. Anyways, that movie, man, they're fast, and that's scary. Like, to think of them being like that. Are the slow zombies just going to edge me perpetually? Oh noes. Yeah, they're trying to get in your cheeks slowly. Everybody's imagining right now zombies slowly ripping off their clothes, all with rock hard-ons. After 2 minutes, you're usually pretty good in a live, but I probably cussed in the first 2 minutes, so it's probably already demonetized. I'm running from slow zombies. Better chance and better gamble. I actually agree with that. I'm picking the slow zombies all day. Don't threaten me with a good time. No slow zombies. You'll need to sleep with one eye open. That is true. That is true. They're gonna sneak up real that, and you know the fast ones you'll hear coming. You ain't gonna hear them quiet, slow ones. So you're saying no matter what, you're zombie food? No, well, if they're slow, I mean, it depends. I mean, can you get away from the fast ones, or can you get away from you got? You know, I'm planning on getting away. I'm not planning on getting eaten. I'm not dying. I'm you know, I'm the star of my own movie, so I'm winning. World War Z. Yes, thank you. World War Z. If you guys haven't seen that, that's a good one. Watch that. That is a damn good one. That's a really, really good one. 28 Days Later was the scariest one I ever saw. Fucking fast and infected in 8 seconds. Yeah, no, I think that one was a really good one too. What was that one with it wasn't zombies, it was a thing that the plants were making people kill themselves. It was called or it was with Mark Wahlberg. What was that one called? That was actually a really good one. Getting molested by zombies sounds like a B horror movie. Somebody's gonna steal this idea. I guarantee it. Somebody's making a horror movie right now because I said it. Every time I say something, not in private with no phones around, it gets stolen every time. Somebody's stealing my idea right now. The Happening. Yes, thank you, Lando. That's a good one too. The Happening, really good. Nobody's surviving if we get World War Z zombies. That's the scary thing, is because that's the, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean, nobody is surviving. Eventually, you're gonna get got. That's true. With those ones, yeah. But I feel like I think I could do it. You know why? You just got to get to an island. They can't swim. They might walk underneath the water over to you. I guess they could probably do that. Maybe not, though. Maybe not. Maybe they'll just get stuck down there in the water. Maybe you drop barbed wire all over the water, all around. So at the bottom of the water, there's barbed wire. Get on an island, start growing food, bring animals. That's what I would do. So I'm gonna live. And if you guys want to come join me on my island, you guys better bring some goods because we're gonna need it. We need you're gonna have something. You're gonna have to come with something. A triple X zombie movie. The Last of Us Zombies. Mark Wahlberg is embarrassed of that movie. Why? Is that true? I don't think he should be. I liked it. I thought it was a good one. You guys hear that detent, man? Yeah, I don't know why he'd be embarrassed about that one. When the wife was infected but immune and her husband gets infected while she is strapped to a bed. Horrible. I seen a thing. I haven't seen the show or anything. It's a movie, I think. I seen a preview, and it's a lady who's banging this guy, and the guy cuffs her to the bed like this, right? So obviously she's spread eagle on a bed, handcuffed. And he has a heart attack. That's the movie. And I don't know how long it takes, but that's the movie. She's on a bed, you know, cuffed up, and dude's dead. So she can't reach her phone. She can't reach nothing. That's a shitty position. But who uses real handcuffs, man? You think you would use the ones that you could always get off, right? I like this theory from this movie. Ah, shit, man. I hate when this jumps. Nature turning against the human race. Yeah, like on The Happening, yeah. That's a good point. Why don't zombies ever go for sea life? They've got blood too. Well, what I was thinking about was if you're on another island, or say if you found an island, right? And, you know, there's water obviously separating you from the mainland, and they're all over the mainland. How do they get over to you? They're just going to walk under the water, right? Because they don't have to breathe. They don't care about that shit. Even though they sound like they're breathing when they're moving. Anyways, let's assume they don't. They're walking underneath the water, and they're going to walk over and eventually come right out, right? So you got to throw barbed wire down there. If there's barbed wire, they can't swim. They're walking. So put barbed wire down there. They're just going to get all caught up and not be able to do shit. They're going to be stuck down there. Yeah, I put a lot of it down there, but I think it'll work. That's my plan. Roseanne Barr or Rosie O'Donnell? Roseanne, for sure. Fuck Rosie O'Donnell. Who do you have to choose, or you go to hell and do? Oh, you're talking about for fucking? I thought we were talking about just who we like more. I played the fifth on that one. I couldn't do either one of them, but I do like Roseanne a lot more though. A baked dish of fruit or meat and vegetables, typically with a type of that's not for me. Jared, what's up, Ronnie? What if I don't want to fuck Rosie O'Donnell? Well, you're the one who picked her. Shouldn't have picked her then. Scout Guide to Zombie Apocalypse is an awesome movie. Scout Guide, I haven't heard of that one. That's a new one for me. What's up, Fred? Thanks for joining, Fred. But yeah, there's probably a lot of them I haven't seen because I don't watch a lot of yeah, World War Z with Brad Pitt. Yeah, that's what I meant. But yeah, I don't watch a lot of movies or shows. We recently started a little show. We do this every couple months. We start a show. Half the time we don't finish them, but sometimes we do. As long as they're short, like one season or whatever, then we can. But I can't. Like I've said to you guys a million times, like I like getting into a show every once in a while. I think it's good for me, but I can't do it long term. I can't sit there and watch shows every night or watch TV. I could never watch TV during the day. I can watch my YouTube, shit like that because it's different, right? I know it's not really different, but it is different to some extent because I'm working while I'm doing it and things like that. I can listen to something while I'm working. But shows and movies and things like that, if it's not every once in a while, and where I enjoy it, I feel like I'm losing money. So I feel like everything you always want to know about zombies, great channel. Exactly. Me. You talking about me, right? Would you rather face 1,000 foot tall zombies or 1,001 foot tall zombies? Ooh. 1,000 foot. So I'm going to say 1,000 foot tall zombies. The reason why is because a 1,000 foot zombie. I mean, I don't even know why he'd even be trying to eat us. We'd be fucking Tic Tacs. I don't even know if he'd get anything from it. But let's see, he was right stomping us out. That's gonna be a lot harder to deal with than a little fucking 1 foot zombie that I could just smash with my foot. I'd throw on some really good boots that they couldn't bite through and just start stomping them out. The problem with an island is having to fend off the other. That's definitely a problem. Who wants your island, or the douche canoe who delivers zombies? Yeah, well, that I thought about that any boats coming that are seen will have to definitely be stopped and searched. They'll never be able to come to the island without, first stopping, and talking and giving, a good signal. If we don't see anybody, then we're definitely just going to blow it up or something. But yeah, the people's the biggest part. You're right. But that's why, it's like you got to have your people there that are prepared to fight for their, their island. And anybody who wants to come, better have something to offer. And it, just a human being is something to offer. I'm just saying, like, when they get there, they better be willing to work and put in the work and protect. And but yeah, you're gonna find evil people, and you just got to wean them out. You got to find the good ones, and hopefully the other good ones can wean them out. Obviously, we've all seen, you know, some of these zombie movies where that shit's happened. I'm thinking about this way too hard. Jared, in the last season of Walking Dead, some started turning doorknobs and climbing shit, so they might can swim to your island, bud. I don't think so. I don't think they're gonna swim. I don't think they can. You know why? I know why. Because they don't have no oxygen in their body. They don't have no oxygen. They're gonna be like they're just gonna sink. They're gonna fucking sink. So they can't float. And then when they try to swim, paddle, they're not fast enough. Now, maybe if they're fast, but I still don't think they could do it. You know, gorillas just sink in water. Certain monkeys can swim in water, but most of them, like gorillas, they just sink. That's why you never see them in like deep water or anything. They can't swim. There's too much muscle, I think, or something like that. Get your zombie supplies now at the links below. Thank you, Todd. I appreciate it, brother. Been a member for 14 months. Shout out to Todd. Oh, man, I appreciate him, man. He definitely helps the channel a lot. And yes, links below. Definitely check those out, especially if you want to smell good during the zombie apocalypse. Get some knives. You definitely need some gear. We got all the gear linked down there. That guy in the 28 days ended up being a big deal actor. The first zombie movie was one of the best. Night of the Living Dead. Yes, I agree. That's the one I grew up on. I grew up on the black and white Night of the Living Dead. That's exactly what I grew up on. I remember the next one, the colored one, pissed me off. I was like, this motherfucker. Wasn't OJ Simpson in one of them? Yeah, I think he was in that one, wasn't he? Yeah, dog. I like this so much more. So, that's not for me. Monkey bone and muscle is too dense to swim. There you go. Can you explain the difference between monocrystalline and palocrystalline? I can't explain it, but probably just so if we're talking about the diamonds versus CBN, so I have a book over in the other room that shows them under microscopes. They're both diamond. Just one seems to be more consistent in the exact same size and also looks like it is sharper, while other one looks more rounded and more smooth on the edges. So one has sharp edges, one has smooth edges. That's not that I don't know how much that would affect it, but that's basically what I seen in the picture. I don't know anything else. So $28,000 Rexford knife Jim Shelton reviewed. Cool. You know, like I wouldn't pay it. There ain't no way I'd pay that. I think that that's just absolutely outrageous for a knife. Even being handmade, I understand like all the work, but if you have that credibility that you can ask for that, then good for you, man. I applaud it. I wish he could get 50,000 for it. It ain't gonna be for me, but I hope somebody will pay him $50,000 for it. You know, like I want people to make money, and if you can make money like that, fuck, man, that's good for you. Good for you. That's awesome. But yeah, I you know, I mean, if I was a billionaire, maybe, but even then, I feel like that'd be a waste. But to each their own, right? You know, I think there is a knife out there that I could see that type of value in. You know, I think we all have maybe something, you know, that would appeal to us to that point. I like K390. K390 every day of the week. Every day of the week. Them 28 days later zombies can fuck off. I want the Shaun of the Dead zombies. Can we get a dad story? Yeah, we can get a little dad story before we go, because I do got to get out of here. We are already late. Let me think of something. This would be a quick one because it's just kind of a couple little stories. Oh man, I shouldn't do that one. Give me a second. Fuck. There's some things it's hard to say because I couldn't tell the truth, you know. Oh fuck. You know, my dad, like, when I was a kid, like, the best thing for him, and I've told you guys that, like, my dad, like, when I was a kid and I got arrested and stuff, you know, his biggest thing was, what did I say? Like, what, you know, what did I say? That was the biggest thing. Did you keep your mouth shut? And, you know, and, the biggest thing, like, that I could tell him, you know, and he looked up to it, and he put me on a higher pedestal. Like, if something happened and I didn't snitch, you know, like, if, like, say if I got in trouble, right, and I was taking the fall, and, like, there was other people involved and they couldn't get me to talk, my dad was proud of me, like, very proud of me. And there was a few times that happened, and he would call, you know, and back me up, but, you know, he'd make sure first, he'd be like, are you willing to take, you know, the trouble for this? Like, one time, you know, something happened where I got in trouble with, like, some alcohol and shit, and it was a friend's, and I had, you know, a possession of it, you could say, and the I think it was my stepfather was trying to get me to admit who it was and shit like that. And my dad called, and he's told him, and this pissed my stepdad off so bad. He told me, he's like, he ain't gonna tell you. He's like, I'll tell you right now, my boy ain't gonna snitch on nobody. He's like, and I'll fucking promise you that. And then I didn't, and he got so mad. So mad. My dad got on the phone. He's like, are you willing to take the punishment for it? I was like, damn right. He was like, that's my boy. And I was like, his biggest thing, like, that's how he was. So other things, you know, like if I got into fights, you know, like, he loved that shit. Like, he would like root me on, you know, and we'd want to know the story, he'd want to hear about it, you know, he'd want to know who won and what happened and this and that. And one time I got in this fight with this kid in the neighborhood, and we got in this fight, and you know, I you know, won the fight, and I told my dad about it because we were going to my friend's house, because it was right next door to my friend's house, like, one of my best friends at the time, and the kid was out in the front, and I told my dad, you know, I was like, oh, I got into a fight with that kid 2 days ago or 3 days ago or whatever. And, you know, he asked me about it, and then he pulls up to the kid and starts talking shit to this little kid. And it's kind of embarrassing, you know, because it's like, my dad, the words he would use and say, I'm not going to say here, but they're not good. They're not good words for an adult to say to a kid. And when I think about it today, when I was a kid, it was just like, you know, my dad's fucking crazy. But now I look back and it's like, damn, that, like, if that happened today, it'd be pretty bad. What? Hey, man, thank you for the 2 bones. What was his name? Joel. Thank you, man. I appreciate the donation through PayPal, man. You're going past the YouTube, taking the monies. But yeah, so, like, my whole life was like little instances like that, you know. Just, you know, like, with, you know, whether I was getting in trouble, you know, and, like, you know, that was the biggest thing. Like, when I first actually got arrested and was, like, in real fucking trouble, you know, that was his biggest thing. And you know, it's kind of like the rite of passage in a way, almost, you know. And it's not that, like, getting in trouble is good. It's not that. It's just that knowing how to deal with the police is good, because, you know, when you're going to grow up doing stupid shit, you're going to be around police, and you're going to be around tyrannical cops that are going to do things to you, your friends, and people around you that you need to know how to deal with. And I did my whole life. I dealt with that shit. That's why I don't trust a lot of them. That's why, you know, I'm not saying there's not good ones out there, because there absolutely is. But I've dealt with so many crooked ones, though, that it's hard. It's hard for me to look at them, you know, like that. Anyways, but yeah, man, he'd fucking do the craziest fucking shit. You know, to my friends too. My sister, this is hilarious. This is a funny one, really quick. My sister was embarrassed to bring any of her friends around, you know, because my sister's a girl, so her friends are obviously girls, right? Well, she didn't want to bring her friends around because my dad would come out in his whitey tighty scratching his fucking nuts without a care in the world. Like, not even considering there's a 13-year-old girl standing right there, 14, 15, 16, whatever the age they were. Didn't give a fuck. And when I say he didn't give a fuck, I mean he didn't give a fuck. And would laugh about it. He didn't give a shit. Even after he got paralyzed, there's probably more pictures of him butt naked in a wheelchair than there is with him with clothes on. You know, not saying, you know, he didn't have his clothes on all the time, but like there was a lot of times he was just fucking butt naked. He didn't give a shit. But when he could walk though, you know, he would just do little behaviors that would make you feel like this is embarrassing. I don't want nobody to see this, especially for my sister, because she's a girl. Like, she would never bring boys around or anything like that because my dad was crazy as fuck. But girls especially, like, you'd have to warn them. Even me, I'd have to warn my friends, girls, like, hey, listen, I need to prepare you for my dad, which was always a treat because he would never disappoint. I'd say that. Never, ever. Not once did he ever disappoint. Like, if you told somebody, like, hey, listen, man, I want to warn you about my dad, it wouldn't be like nothing would happen, you know, after they did see him. They're like, oh, he's not that bad. No, it was never. Like, he literally would try to, if my friends I'd bring by, the first thing he'd be trying to do is figure out if he could fuck their mother. Fuck, I just dropped my coffee. Damn it. All right, guys, I got to get out of here. I just spilt my coffee. I got to clean this shit up. I appreciate you guys all hanging out with me. I appreciate all the donations tonight. We are going to start doing better story time. I'm going to start making sure I have some specific stories planned out so they do go a little bit better. Sorry for all the knife flicking. Becomes a habit. Check out the fragrances. They are down in the description. We got some great videos coming. I have a ton of testing. I have a lot of shit going on behind the scenes. So a lot of really cool videos coming. And there's some really cool shit coming too. Yeah. All right, guys. Work hard. Stay tough. Until next time. Peace.